Now we're about to welcome a man in which we've been trying to get on the pod for a good bit, and somebody that every fighter that's ever been on here that has trained with him speaks so highly of. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome Brantley Furr to the show. Brantley, what is up?
What's up, Blas? What's up, Julien?
What's going on? I'm wearing my X3 hoodie because we've got three guys from Team Lima on here, so I'm trying to level it up a little bit to other gyms. So
That's okay.
next week, if anyone else sends me a hoodie, I'll wear theirs next week as well.
I'll get you an ATT hoodie, bro. We just got some new ones in.
I'll come next time by the gym. I'll come buy one. Absolutely.
Bet.
I think that's a good place to start, man. ATT Team Lima, man. That's how I know you. We see you in the corner of so many different fighters representing ATT Team Lima. What does that gym mean to you?
Man, it's everything, man. When we opened up, we were ATT Gwinnett, and we got there, and I took over the head coaching job. I've believed in this team through and through, man. Mind, body, and soul. I believed it, and I feel like the rest of the fighters and the coaches, they're believing too, and that's a big thing. We believe in each other, man. It's everything to me. This is not just a hobby, man. This is a lifestyle, man. You know, I live, eat, sleep, and breathe this thing, man. You know, so it's everything. It's the world to me.
How long have you been a part of ATT? You said it was Gwinnett at first, but ATT and Team Lima.
I'm not exactly sure what year they opened, but as soon as ATT Gwinnett opened, I was teaching some cardio kickboxing classes over there and a couple fill-in spots here and there. And they had a head coaching job open up, and I jumped on it, man, and I never looked back. You know, I'm not exactly sure what year that was, but it's been a while now.
Indeed. You're 37 now.
Yeah.
You haven't fought in about 2 years. Would you say, are you officially retired?
I believe so, man. Sometimes I have mixed feelings. You kind of go back and forth, but obviously that's not the way you want to be in fighting. You don't fight with 1 foot in and 1 foot out, man, you know. So ever since I've taken over coaching, man, I felt like it was going to be kind of hard to fill that void of fighting. But, man, coaching leaps and bounds, man. I love it. It really fills that void. It feels good to give back. And I live vicariously through these guys. I keep telling them, man, I have the best seat in the house, man. And I don't have to take the damage anymore, you know, and I still get to be a part of it and around it through and through. So I don't see myself going back to it, man. I'm so focused on coaching and putting my heart and effort into these guys and seeing them succeed. So probably not, man.
Indeed.
You could just be like Doug Usher and Mike Wilson and retire every Monday and then unretire every Thursday.
Just tired. Yeah. Nah, man. I'm gonna. Sorry, cut off on me. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't have a wife and kids at that time, man. And fighting comes with a lot of sacrifice, and you know, I'm already sacrificing enough. I work split shifts. I'm here in the morning and at night too, and I'm not gonna give up that time with my wife and my boys, man.
I have seen that lately. You training some of the fighters in your front yard or whatever. Is that something that's been going on forever and we didn't know, or just the photos coming out now, or is that just something training them on the farm there?
Yeah, we call it the Fur Farm, man. The guys like to come out there every now and again, man. It's fresh air, man. It's out in the country. It's nice. It's peaceful. We just come out there and work. There's no distractions or people watching you or asking you questions or anything. It's just straight work, man. And it really happened when COVID came around. The gyms were closed down, man. So we weren't stopping, man. So I just kept having the guys whenever we were doing PTs or pad work or sessions. They came to the house, man, and we got the work in. There was no stopping us, man. And so that's kind of how that came about. And that was the spot until the gym opened back up.
Now, you talked about how you're pouring your all into the fighters, man, and how much like you're living vicariously through them.
Yeah.
They speak so damn highly of you, Brantley. Like even like on air and off air, we'll be at the fights and people just speak so highly of you, man. Why do you think that is?
I think the guys, man, they know that I really care about them, man. I genuinely care about them, and I'm super, super invested in this. I always have that little saying, man, if you're all in, I'm all in, man. And they're sacrificing so much. I see them in here working 2 and 3 times a day, man, and they're working hard. And I'm gonna do the same thing, man. They're sacrificing, so I'm gonna do the same thing too. And I want to see them reach their goals and their potential, man. So I'm gonna give them everything I have, man. I'm not gonna shortcut them or, and I don't expect them to do that to me. So.
Oak Boro, North Carolina, man. Growing
Yeah.
up, what did that look like?
Man, you can imagine, man, small town, out in the sticks, man. I think my high school had like around the football field, man, my high school had a cow pasture around it, man. So it's super country, man. That's kind of how I got into fighting, man. There was, not much going on there, and same kind of backstory as the other guys and girls, man. You're kind of bored, man. I was finding myself going out on the weekends and hanging out with the same people and drinking and getting into fights and doing dumb shit, man. So something had to change, man. So I kind of got out of there.
Got out of there. How did you get introduced to martial arts?
Going to these parties and things, man. I was getting into fights and being young and dumb, and I was like, you know what, I need to figure out how to fight. And then 11 months in, I took my first mixed martial arts fight, and I won in 36 seconds with a guillotine choke. I was hooked, man. That's all it took. And as I was in North Carolina and training, I started gaining ground on some of the guys that I was training with, and we had a small group of MMA fighters. Not a lot of us. So I was like, man, I need to keep evolving and get better. So I drove guys out to Georgia, man, and that's how I met Jukau and the Limas and all those guys, man. And they just, man, I went to these training sessions, dude, and they beat my ass. And I was like, okay, this is where I need to be, So I moved to Georgia. I stayed with a friend, or it was my aunt. Slept on a blow-up mattress, man, for like 3 months. So I found an apartment, man, and I never came back. Never went back.
I have always wondered that, how someone as nice as a guy as you, or as nice as you now, maybe you're an asshole back then, I don't know, but someone so nice now gets in street fights or whatever, because I'm 5'4". Everywhere I go, I'm always the smallest guy, and I haven't been in a fight since 2nd grade. You're maybe 2 inches taller than me. I don't know. How did you get picked on that much, or you get in fights that much, being such a nice dude?
Man, like I said, a little young and dumb, man, and a little bit of liquid courage too, going out. A lot of times it always seems like too, man, guys would either target me because I was a smaller guy. I guess that looked like an easy target, or it was either taken up for friends or whatnot, man, and I didn't want them to get bullied or messed with. So I always kind of chimed in, and then it seemed like to be me was the one that ended up fighting in the end, So, but since I started martial arts, man, I have not been in a fight outside of the cage, not one time, man. So it's very humbling, and it makes you realize that that stuff is not necessary,
Being the smallest guy, I guess similar to now, I always like to talk junk, so I'll talk junk to anyone in a bar, and I'll back my friends up. But when the fight actually starts, I get the hell out of there. Yeah. Like if you're looking for backup, I am not the guy that's going to help you out of the bar at all. But the NFC awards banquets are coming up probably in January or February, and the funny thing is when we put them up last year, and this was the first time it exploded like that. We asked people to just nominate one person for a category, but once one person gets nominated, you don't have to comment 600 times with the same person. Once you see, Diego Lima is Fighter of the Year nominated, boom, it goes on our spreadsheet. Last year, every single damn post I saw was Brantley Furr, Coach of the Year, Brantley Furr, Coach of the Year. And I think since we've gone live on here, we've had 3 people, including Adele Gladney, say, let's go, Brantley Furr, Coach of the Year.
That's my boy, man.
You get more nominations for that than anybody else in the history of our 15-year banquet.
I love it, man. I want that plaque again, man. I want that title again. Same thing, man. These guys are working for wins and belts, and I want the same thing, man. If they succeed, I'm succeeding too, man. If they win, we all win, baby.
And I will say there's not too many gyms, and I'm friends with almost every gym owner, every trainer. I think I like them all equally, and a lot of them like me. But there's not it's usually the awards, the big awards, gym of the year, coach of the year. It's not too many years consecutive that person would win it. But I honestly think, without looking at all the resumes of all the guys on paper yet, I'd have to think you're in the running for it the second year in a row easily.
Gotta be, man. Gotta be, dude. We're racking up wins, man. I feel like we have so many fighters, man. We all fight, Jim. So it's hard to see it going any other way, man. And we work hard. I'm working hard. Like I said, I want that plaque again, man. I want that title again. I want to be the best coach. I want to be the best gym. I want to be the best at what we're doing.
Brantley, now that your career has completed,
yeah.
When you in your coaching, when you look back at your career, man, what are some things that coaches have told you that now you've attempt to just teach your students?
What am I taking from like my fighting career?
Yeah, that like you really want to like instill onto the students that you have now.
Man, a lot of it is self-belief. I feel like I know that's probably seems small, man, but I think when I was fighting, I had a lot of potential, man. I just lacked some of that self-belief. Sometimes I would get in my head a little bit and overthink things and not believe in myself as much, man. And this is not the sport where you have self-doubt, man. You have to believe in yourself, man, and believe in the work you're doing and believe in your skill set. And a lot of this is mental, man. The fighting is mental, and I'm trying to make those guys understand that. And win, lose, or draw, too. I feel like some of these guys, I had the feeling like when I lost, it was the end of the world, and nobody believed in me, nobody cared about me. But that's not it. I still believe in those guys when they take an L. Their families still love them. Nothing changes, man. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, man, and you get your ass right back to it, and I want them to understand that, just because you take an L or lose a fight, man, nothing changes, we just keep the ball rolling, and I think the mental aspect of it is what I take away from it, fighting, and I want them to understand that.
And I feel bad because your last fight of your career, pending you come back, your last fight was the worst fight in the history of my 21 years. I still have PTSD from doing an outdoor event. It was the Buckhead Saloon fight. And this is what we had to do during COVID. During COVID, I had to find new venues. I had to find something outside. We did Buckhead Saloon. We did Harley Davidson. We put dressing rooms outside when we were at district. Like during COVID, everything changed. But that was the worst event, the night of the torrential downpour. Plus, there was a hole in the middle of the tent. I remember you slipping and sliding all over the place. We had to do some of the fights the next day on Sunday. I made it completely free for fans to come in on Sunday. And then people chewed my ass out because I made it free, and the people that paid wanted their money back. So I apologize that your last fight was absolutely by far the worst fight in the history of the state of Georgia.
Man, it wasn't your fault, man. That was just the circumstances, you can't help the weather, man. You guys tried to do the best you could with it. And, man, I went through three opponents. I think it was three opponents, man, or something like that, dude. And y'all were working so hard to find me an opponent, and I wasn't backing out, man. We were going to do it. But I think the worst thing out of all that was when I had to fight the next day, man. Trying to recreate that, man. You're there and you're trying to get the adrenaline going, man, and you're hyped up. And then when they tell you you're not fighting, and you go home and, you have that adrenaline dump, man, and you try to recreate it the next day. It was super hard. And then Diego couldn't be there as well, too. He had already changed his flight. He had to be – I think he was leaving out for Douglas's flight, but he had pushed it back till Sunday morning, and then my fight got switched till Sunday morning, so he couldn't be there. So it was complete chaos, dude, but that's the way life goes, man.
Yeah. Even on my side, my car broke down in the parking lot that night. Charlene had to drive me home to Smyrna in the pouring rain. Then she had to drive all the way back to wherever she lives, North Georgia, Lawrenceville, whatever. The next morning, I had to take an Uber. I take an Uber to Home Depot, bought 6,000 rags, took an Uber to Buckhead Saloon. I was there by 7 a.m., making sure that cage was completely and utterly dry the next morning. And that's the first time I've ever been to Buckhead at 7 a.m. sober and not shit-faced from the night before. I walked to Whole Foods for breakfast by myself at 7 a.m. They weren't even open yet on Sunday morning with the breakfast bar. I think I walked to McDonald's, and then I sat and I slept in the cage by myself from like 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. when people finally started coming to Buckhead Saloon. But I think that was a complete and utter shit show and nightmare for everyone involved. And I can't even imagine what it was like for you or your opponent that was from out of state as well. I mean, it was horrible.
Man, it was terrible. I remember going home after that fight too, man, and my parents and my wife, they had pizza and cake and cupcakes, man. I couldn't eat none of that stuff, man. I didn't want to go back the next day and my stomach be funny or anything, man. Just terrible circumstances, but, what do you do, man?
Yeah.
You talked earlier about how, when I asked you about your fighting career and is it over, is it not, you talked about now that you're a father, you have two boys at home, man.
Yeah.
How have you been able to balance fatherhood and being a trainer now and being a coach?
I think the coaching thing is easier to balance than guys we're talking to, than easier to balance than being a fighter and a father at the same time. I think coach, man, it's pressure, but I don't have as much pressure, you know what I mean, as the fighters, man. When you start getting close to those fights, everyone gets nervous, but I think it's super amplified for the fighters, man. But I balance it well, man. I have my boys in the morning. I get to see them and take Dax to school and then drop my son Bricks off at Granny's. I come in, do my thing here at the gym, and then I still get to go get my son and see him in between the day. And then my wife works out here at night, and my son takes jiu-jitsu as well, too. So it works out, man. I get to see him in the morning, and I get to see him at the gym, and they love the gym, and they like seeing me, in here working and holding pads and stuff. So it works out, man. I love it, man. We're gym rats, dude. I don't see myself doing anything else. I know this is it, man. This is what I'm going to do. There's no baby.
Fatherhood has definitely changed me, man. It's just made me a lot sharper. And how would you say fatherhood has changed the game for you, Brantley?
I keep telling those guys, my fighters too, man. It helps me too. I know those guys, the boys are always watching me, man. So it keeps me on my toes, dude. I have to conduct myself properly and try to be a leader, man, because I can see them always watching me and watching what I do, So it really makes you grow up and, it changed it's really changed my mindset for the better, man.
Do you have them tatted on you?
I do, man. I have both of my boys' names there, and then my son Dax. I don't know if you can see it. I got him in, man, flexing, bro.
That's gangsta. I like that one.
How old are your kids now?
My son Dax is 5, and my son Bricks is 2.
So you probably didn't see it. My mom was texting me earlier. I didn't even know, but WSB did a special today on kids MMA fighting. It was on the 5 o'clock WSB News, and they're going to talk about it again at 11 p.m. tonight. And the Athletic Commission this Thursday is actually going to take it up, the kids MMA fighting. Justin Brown with Gamma does it. He does it in Tennessee and other states. Have you ever seen the kids fighting? Any thoughts on it either way?
No, I've never seen that, man. I know they have young kids like in Thailand, man. They're having Thai fights at a super young age, but no, I haven't seen that, man. This is the first I heard about it.
Yeah, check out WSB at 11 p.m. tonight. I know Mike Wilson and his guys do it. Warrior Jiu-Jitsu goes up to Tennessee a lot. And I haven't even looked at all the rules. I think in some of the fights that were headgear, you can't punch to the head. So it's mostly grappling and do stuff on the ground. But I didn't know if you've ever counted the years down to when you're going to have your kids fight when they turn 18.
If they want to do that, then so be it, man. I'll try to help them the best I can, man, and have them prepared. But if they want to do it, it's fine. But I think there's maybe a better profession, maybe.
Indeed. Now,
I don't disagree.
I just you know how it is, man. It's fine when you're doing, but as a parent, when you think about your kid doing, you're like, oh shit, man, I don't know if I want my kid doing that or not, But if that's what they want to do and that's where their heart is, man, I'm gonna support them 110%, man.
Same way that you do these fighters, man. When it's all said and done, man, what do you want? What do you want your fighters to think of you? Like how do you want to be remembered? Because a lot of people aren't gonna go to UFC like we just had on in Trey Sean, man. But they're gonna remember the hours, the amount of sweat that they put in the gym, man. What do you want them to take from Brantley Furr?
I just want my guys to know that I was there for them, man, and that I was genuine, and I was committed for them, and I gave them everything I had, so they could accomplish their goals and dreams, and I supported them. I was always there for them. I always had their back.
And then for your beautiful baby boys, man, what do you want them to know about you? especially as they continue to grow and watch you every day?
Man, their dad was a hard worker, man. He was a grinder, you know, and I chased my dreams too, man. And you know, I want them to see me chase my dreams and reach my dreams and goals, man, and know that they can do the same thing as well too, man. That's why I'm trying to lead by example, man. You know, they're always watching, bro.
I respect that 1,000%.
We were going to have Diego Lima on after you, but he's
Uh-oh.
stuck with his kid's softball game.
Yeah.
So we're going to delay him till next Monday. Actually, he just texted me. But question I was going to ask him is: a lot of the gyms make their money on kids jiu-jitsu, cardio, kickboxing, the CrossFit, and the fight game adds something. It adds a hell of a lot of marketing to their gyms. It lets a place for their fighters to teach class and make money. But you guys have fully taken in the fight game at your all's gym. Like, why has it been 100% fight gym? And I think you even said that when you first came on, it was the number one fight gym. Like, what's been the theory there to make it so fighter friendly?
Obviously we still have big kids classes, man. And we still have cardio kickboxing and beginners jiu-jitsu and then advanced jiu-jitsu and boxing. We have all those classes and stuff too, but I just think we built a solid core group of fighters and coaches, and I think we have a lot of great structure in here, and I think the other gyms were realizing that, and they were seeing the videos and the pictures and, you know, the guys performing at the fights, and they needed that work, man. Like some of those guys, like some of the guys that came over here from X3, Nate, Robert, man, Shamel, all those guys, man, they were putting in the work over there, but a lot of it, I think they were having to coach themselves. Like Nate was having to push some of the practices and things too. And I think coming in here, it's kind of like, I call it mindless training, man. Those guys get to come in. They don't have to worry about anything. They just come in and train. We have everything set out for them. It's structured. They just listen and work, man. And I think the guys like that, man. They want to come in. They want to get their work in, progress, evolve. And I think that's where they grow and make man, you know. And we do, man. We have all the fighters, man, and the coaches, man. Jacal's here coaching in the morning. Will Brooks, Diego Douglas, man, you know. And then we have a lot of young up and comers. Shamel, Christian Turner, man, Adele, dude, you name it, we have it, man. And you should, like, I came in this morning and Jacal was running the practice, dude. There is 30 fighters on the mat right now, man. You know, at pro training, it's insane, man. You know, and I keep telling people this, we're building something special, man. We really are, and this is just the beginning.
I was going to ask you, who is y'all's top pro in your opinion right now, and who also is the top up-and-coming guy that we might not have seen on an NFC fight card? You know, maybe even someone that's only 1-0 or 1-2-0, whatever. But who's the top guy coming up that we don't know of yet?
Oh, man, that's a toughie, bro.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot or nothing.
Oh, he put you all the way on the spot.
You're gonna piss off 29 guys. 29 guys are about to get pissed, and one's about to be happy.
I know, right? Like, damn, me, coach. I don't know, man. I don't know as far as young. We have, like I said, we have so many young up and comers, man. I know Christian's. You know, he's my guy, man. That's one of the guys I gravitated to. We seem to click very well. You know, he's a young up and comer. Shamel, man. He's got a ton of potential, man. I just started working with him, but I think we're going to do great things. There's tons of guys, man. As far as amateur goes, Lima is a stud. I've been working with him. He's a silent assassin, man. He's got a ton of potential. Adele is just getting started. Man, there's so many to name, man. There's too many to name. You know, I don't want to put one guy out there, but man, we have it, man. You know, the vets, the young up and comers, the amateurs, man. You name it, we have it, dude. We're gonna take all those NFC belts. I'm telling you, they're gonna be ours, bro.
I think Reese Watkins just commented and said, Carl, I imagine that means Carl Williams, Christian, Trey, Shamel, Nima. So that was Reese Watkins' top 5 right there, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I really think a lot of those guys that he just named, man, those guys are just scratching the surface, man. They haven't even hit their stride yet, man. They got tons of potential, man. You know, they're going to evolve, man, and get a lot better.
Brantley, what does a local promotion like the NFC mean, not only to you, but to the gym and to the fighters?
That's all, man. They're giving these guys a platform to get their name out there, to get their face out there, and get to bigger shows, man. And it's huge for us, man. It's really huge. They always treat us well. They always recognize us, man, and it's good for the guys, man. It's great. Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, now you kind of broke up just a little bit, and so like whenever that happens, I just smile. I just kind of put the cheese on to make sure everything's cool, man. But what I did hear was that you said it's good for everybody, man, because those fighters are able to just have that platform to showcase their skills. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it gets their name out there. It gets the face out there, man. And it's building blocks for their future, man. It's these guys are giving them a start, man, and so they can get on to those bigger shows and bigger promotions and make money and make a name for themselves, man. It's huge, man.
And I noticed, man, last fight at Tannery Road, man, every time I was like, hey, T, Lima, and like the whole crowd just really got behind it. I'm sure that brings you and everybody else that goes to the gym a sense of pride.
Yeah, man, we here the guys feel it, man. Everybody will say that, whether it's fighters or members or whatever. When they come in here, man, it feels different. Gym, man, it's a real view, man. It feels like you feel like everyone has your back, man. And it's really genuine. You don't feel like there's anybody who's like who's gunning for you. Everybody's just pushing you to reach your full potential, man. They're trying to pull the best out of you, man. And we feed off that, man. Like-minded. Everybody's goal oriented. So they feel that, man. They feel the genuine.
So is this an open invite for me to come down there and come train?
Come. Let's go.
Say no more, man.
You're welcome anytime.
Say no more, man. I look forward to getting in there, getting on the mats with you, Coach Brantley Furr. Before we part ways, man, we want your final thoughts, man. What do you want to leave the NFC community with?
No, man, I just want to thank O-Blocks and Jesse and you, Julien, man, for giving us the platform, or giving my guys the platform to get their name and face out there, man. And the NFC podcast is dope too, man. You guys are doing great things. I love it, man. I really do, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. And thank you guys, man.
Absolutely. Coach Brantley Furr, man, we appreciate you, man. I know I've been bugging you since the inception of the pod to come on here, man, to come join us. It's just because we respect you, man, and we listen to what other people have to say, and they speak nothing but greatness on your name, man. So just continue to be that inspiration, continue to be that light, and as you said earlier, man, continue to give those fighters that self-confidence so they can be the best fighters they can possibly be. Much respect to you on behalf of the entire NFC community and NFC Now pod.
Oh, well, thank you, Julien. Thank you, David.
Appreciate the time.
No problem, man.